In this video, I want to go over the sentence completion portion of the SAT. I call these the fill in the blank questions. Okay, there's a very good approach to these questions. It's one of the easiest to learn, and here's why. Before we begin, I want you to think of these questions in terms of the test makers. In order to make a good question for the SAT, it has to be reliable. It has to be a good question. It has to make sense, okay? So let's try making a question. Let's look at question number 1, for example. You are such a blank. And the answer choices are A, nice guy, B, nice girl, C, bad guy, D, bad girl, E, $1,500. Okay, so which is the right answer? That's right, you don't know because there is no context. You don't have any clue, rhyme, reason, logical presupposition to assume or to even make a conjecture about which is the correct answer. You are such a nice guy, nice girl, bad guy, bad girl, $1,500. All of them are equally correct, except for $1,500. Which brings me to a point. Eliminate wrong answer choices when you can. But we'll cover that in another video. Okay, so back to the question. You are such a nice guy, nice girl, bad guy, bad girl. Okay, none of this makes sense. So context is important. How do we inject context into these sentences so that we can get a good question from the test maker's point of view? Number 2, here's the example. Your amicable personality, this is bad. Your amicable personality makes, that's a grammar mistake. Be aware of that. Your amicable personality makes people blank you. Okay? So here we have some clues. We have amicable personality. Okay? And that makes people something you. Okay? And here are the answer choices. A, hate. B, like. C, despise. D, abhor. E, shovel. Okay? So 1, we want to look at the context. We have our context. 2, we look for the clues. The key word here is amicable. What does amicable mean? Yes, you're right. It means likable. Okay? And here's the $1,000,000 trick in sentence completion. It's to cover the answer choices and make up your own word that fits into the blank before you look at the answer choices. So what you want to do is guess what goes into here before you let the answer choices confuse you. Okay? If you look at this and try to fill all of them in, a lot of them could potentially make sense. But if you can make up your own and then match them, it's much easier, much quicker, much more efficient. Okay, back to the question. Your amicable personality makes people blank you. Likable. Amicable means likable, so what does a likable personality make people do to you? The logical answer is like. Okay? So, do we have like in the answer choices? First, let's look at them. Hate? No. Like? Yes. Despise? Despise is pretty much dislike? No. Abhor? That's a stronger level of dislikes? No. Shovel? That has nothing to do with anything. So that's one of those obviously get rid of answer choices. Okay, so now we have your amicable personality makes people like you. B is the correct answer. Okay? That's the basic strategy. It's very simple, but it's extremely effective. If I could only teach one thing in a very short amount of time, this would be it. And go practice it, go see for yourself how effective the strategy is. This will raise your SAT score the most, I think. But the key is, at the same time, vocabulary. If you don't know what these words mean, you're not going to be able to do anything with it. If you don't know what the clues mean, you're not going to be able to do anything with it. So make flashcards, do whatever it takes, read, increase your vocabulary, okay? And get those sentence completion questions correct. Good job.